Hello, and welcome to a special 200 sub celebration of the corner. I'm the Frosted Glass, and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages, Jack Gunsky.
It's your fault for subscribing to this awful channel.
That's
Leave
right.
me alone.
So if
Be
you want to see,
gone.
if you want to see Jack suffer more, you gotta subscribe. Moonshock,
Hello, everybody.
Terry Diamantis,
See, the beautiful thing is we take the moonshot, the cancer from Moonshock and give it to Jack.
Yeah. It's
The
all
cancer
about
transplant.
Wouldn't it
It's
be
all about
hilarious
equity.
if wouldn't it be hilarious if I found out tomorrow that I was dying?
Actually, yes.
And Terry would be like, "See, I'm a fucking prophet now."
it's all about equity. We're redistributing from those that have it to those that need it.
Exactly. And,
And
I like what Random American is doing. He wants to unsubscribe. If he does that, we can hit 200 again and torture Jack some more.
How dare you?
and this
How
week's
dare you? Oh, sorry.
and this week's special guest, Jack Cochran.
Hi, everybody.
Since Jack was our guest on our first episode, I thought he should be here for our 200 sub episode. All right. And let's get to our first article.
Hooray.
Schools should replace the pledge with a denouncement of racism.
What?
The problematic and racist history of the Pledge of Allegiance.
You ever,
Oh my!
Are you ever about to do something and you've done it before and you know it's painful, and then you're about to do it again, except you haven't mentally prepared yourself for it, and so you go in kind of blind and it just hurts all the more for it? That's kind of how I feel right now. I feel like I went into this and I hadn't done the mental prep work necessary, and now my brain just hurts
Jack, how many weeks have we been doing this show?
Yeah.
You got to get your shit together. You got to come in expecting this.
I don't know what to tell you. I was having such a relaxing day, and I had a nice nap, had some nice food. Everything was going well. I don't want to hear any more bad news.
And then you consciously know you're going to be on this show tonight. What the hell's wrong with you, dude?
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Citizens of the United States have an unhealthy relationship with their flag. It's fun.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking pie hole. You commie piece of shit.
That's no way to talk to
You
Frosted.
dirty, rotten, commie piece of shit.
It's
Frosted's
fun.
a communist?
No.
No. He fought against the communists, but I won't say for whom.
Let's just say I fought in the Spanish Civil War. All right. It's fun. It's fine to show respect to a symbol of our country, but insistence on flag etiquette too often descends into a peculiar form of hysteria, which is dishonestly leveraged for political purposes. It's not uncommon for Americans to make the flag the focus of their patriotism, even as they toss the Constitution around like a dirty wash rag. The simple reality. You heard them.
Uh-huh.
The simple reality is that you can't force others to worship the flag without treading on the Constitution. The fundamental difference between the two is that the flag represents our nation and the Constitution is our nation.
Tell
Which
that
is
to the
why
current
we need gun
administration.
control.
Yeah.
What was that, Terry?
Which is why we need gun control.
I'm curious to know who's forced to worship the flag.
Well, all of us, obviously.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
She means that pledging allegiance to the country that you live in and don't want to see destroyed is worship.
Oh,
You know, that totally rational reaction to not wanting the place you're living in to be destroyed actively is the same as believing in God.
well, see, I think that the issue here is that when you say a place is a shithole, you're shithole shaming. So
That's true.
That we need to stop doing that by making every place a shithole.
That's right.
Well-
It's equity.
Somebody's got to have a Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Communism, shitholes for everyone.
Just cut to Chicago. I'm doing my part.
You see some guy in like one of those autonomous zone places. I'm doing my part. Building falls on top of him.
The Pledge of Allegiance has often been a focus of needless conflict. Our educational system represents the entity that is best equipped to combat the problems facing our country.
It's
Rather
not
than an-
equipped at all.
Rather than an outdated pledge, we would be better served to have all of our children recite a denouncement of the institutionalized evil that currently obstructs our progress as a society.
Pardon me, but find a large metal dildo and fuck yourself to death.
No. I will denounce the institutionalized evil that currently obstructs our progress as a society. I hereby denounce the Democrats.
Yep, pretty
Pretty
much.
No, you're not allowed to bring that part up. The pledge is nothing but an advertisement. It's bizarre to think that the percentage of the population that believes a life-saving mask mandate represents tyrannical government overreach is content to allow that same government to force our children to recite a daily pledge. In fact, they often demand the inclusion of the pledge at the beginning of every school day.
And is it not these same people that say diversity and inclusion is our strength?
I don't even think most schools do the pledge anymore, for Christ's sake. You probably have to. Yeah, well, I did when I was a kid, but I think they've started phasing it out because, they're assholes, because they don't have any desire to live in America at all. They don't have any respect for America. They don't have respect for anyone who died in the service of creating this country. They don't have any respect for any of the values which allowed America to become the biggest powerhouse, the biggest economic powerhouse, the biggest creativity powerhouse on the planet, the greatest generator for all the freedoms that these same people take for granted. They have no respect for any of those things. All they care about is looking good in front of their piece of shit friends.
I'll have you know, though, I saw a tweet that says freedom is overrated. So bear that in mind.
Yeah. It's pieces of shit showing off for pieces of shit, and they will do anything to do so, including destroy the place that they live in and dump all over it. So pardon me, but fuck them.
I'm hearing more shit shaming here, and it's really awful.
We're a country. We're a country with 150 million little shitholes. That's what we are. Yeah. You talk about shithole countries. Well, we got shithole people. About half of them.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Why do you?
Oh, however, I will say that this mask mandate probably hasn't saved anybody.
Plus, it's incredibly sexist. Why isn't it a person date or a people date?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the mask mandate killed more people than it saved.
For
Christ's sakes, your body expels germs. Your body expels viruses from itself. That is one of its mechanisms for maintaining itself. You are wearing that on your face all day. And not only that, when you touch your face, when you touch your mask, the mask is now contaminated with the stuff that was on your hands.
Did
and
you
people
also
are touching
know
their masks all day?
Oh, did you also know that there's also going to be the possibility, or high possibility, of mesothelioma coming back with a vengeance because of all these microparticles these people are inhaling that came from said masks?
I wouldn't be surprised. You got those, and not only that, not to mention the whole concept of lockdowns killing. They're killing more people than they're saving. Yep. You're putting people in complete isolation. Do you have any idea what that does to the human psyche?
Nothing. I'm living proof.
what it does for the average person and not Terry? What it does to the human psyche?
Makes it better.
It makes people batshit. It makes them batshit. It causes a massive spike in depression. You can ask any doctor. Go to any doctor. today. They will
That's
tell
big.
you that since this pandemic started, since the lockdown started, the biggest spike they've seen in anything is antidepressants. You think that
Suicides too.
If you say, ask any doctor, Bill Gates is apparently the most powerful doctor in the world, according to Google.
Well, we have a doctor in our chat, Dr. Kiev. Maybe we should ask them.
Yeah.
Good point.
But seriously, it's killing people. These lockdowns are killing people. Every day they go on. And these mask mandates, I'd be willing to gander that they've been killing people too. And nobody cares because they just want to look good for their little pieces of shit friends.
Yeah, but if we're all very good, then maybe we can have small gatherings by the 4th of July, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
If our overlord Fauci allows it, dare to dream.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, but I feel like the country is just falling the fuck apart. It's not even like
not just a country, man.
You know, it's like there are people who used to say the end is nigh, and you'd be like, the end of the world isn't coming. But guess what? Sometimes catastrophes happen. And I feel like we are living through a human rights catastrophe right now.
Well, we're engineering our own demise is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Look,
we're going through it right now.
What could possibly go wrong by opening the southern border and letting a bunch of people we don't know anything about that may be infected with weird diseases come flooding over and putting all their children in little closed environments where they could cough on each other? What could possibly go wrong? We're going to ship all those kids to different cities so that the rest of us can stay healthy. It's totally fine. They bring nothing but love, peace, and happiness wherever they go. You bigot.
That's these platforms, they all contradict each other. They contradict each other left, right, and center. These people, the people who are running our society, the people who have been put in charge of our society, have no real sense. Well, it's not even that they don't have sense. I think that they know that everything they're saying is full of shit, and I think that they're just doing it for totally selfish reasons, and they don't care. And yet we are the ones who are on the outside having to act rationally and having to explain why they're wrong when they don't care. They're not listening. They don't care that people are suffering. They don't care that their country is falling apart. They don't care that they're devaluing the dollar. They don't care that people are dying from corona. They don't care that the southern border is getting flooded with immigrants that our country is not able to sustain through its welfare programs. They don't care about any of these things. They just care about perpetuating their own pathetic existence by saying that you need us. You need us to continue functioning.
I'm sorry, did you say something, Pleb?
Just think of it as God. The narrative works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. I'll be quiet for a few minutes.
I'll be timing it.
The situation becomes even more perplexing when you consider that the Pledge of Allegiance was conceived not out of patriotism, but as a means of ensuring corporate profit. In 1892, Daniel Sharp... All right, so there was some campaign to get schools to start doing it.
I love the mumble, by the way.
Nah, I just had a stroke.
Leave that for after the stream. We're broadcasting.
Oh, here we go. The author of the pledge was a racist.
Of course.
Francis Bellamy is a problematic figure who often espoused radical and seemingly contradictory beliefs. He might be unique in American history in that, if you dig deep enough, you'll find something in his past to offend virtually everyone from the far left to the far right of the current American political spectrum. Bellamy, a former Baptist preacher, had irritated his Boston Brahmin flock with his socialist ideas, but as a writer and publicist at The Companion, he let him rip. In a series of speeches and editorials that were equal parts marketing, political theory, and racism, he argued that Gilded Age capitalism, along with every alien immigrant of inferior race, eroded traditional values, and that pledging allegiance would ensure that the distinctive principles of true Americanism will not perish as long as free public education endures.
Go take Go take a free helicopter ride, dirty commie.
I'm pretty sure Frosted almost said edumacation right there.
Well, I was running out of breath.
I think he was just imagining how the source material said it out loud.
We'll just go with book learnings. Public
fair
book
enough.
learnings. Bellamy represents another unfortunate character from American history who would pledge his undying loyalty to the concept that all men are created equal, and yet make room within his flawed personal logic for racism. Does it really make sense to oblige our children to endlessly repeat words that were conceived in the delusional mind of this despicable individual?
Wait. So the pledge itself wasn't wrong according to your example. It was the flawed logic that was wrong. But the pledge itself wasn't actually wrong by what he said.
But the guy who said it was a bad guy, which makes the pledge bad.
Yeah. Guilt by association. That's all this is.
You know, they said it. They said it correctly in Wreck-It Ralph. Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
Okay.
I can't argue with that logic. It's infallible.
See?
What justice is there in forcing immigrants and the children of immigrants to repeat the statement of a man who despised them?
Are you waiting for us to answer so that we can get triggered by this shit?
No, I'm just
Too late.
deciding which parts can be skipped because
Your pregnant pause there was just like, I'm waiting.
then talks about how under God was added in.
Yes, because this nation was founded upon Christian principles.
Well, no, the problem with that isn't that it's Christian principles. It is the fact that, keep in mind, this was from a time where basically everyone was religious to a certain extent,
Right.
and the secularism mostly applied to personal philosophy. Because this was during a period where there was secularism introduced, but people didn't really go around calling themselves agnostic or atheist. They were, and the notion God does not refer to a specific God. It refers to the concept of God in general.
Well, didn't you know that our God is better than your God?
Yeah, I'm going to skip ahead to the point.
I mean, you don't hear them saying one nation under Allah.
It's time for a new tradition. It's inappropriate to
kill the commies. Sorry.
It's inappropriate to force our children to recite lines written by a racist, conceived as an advertisement,
Why we listen to you then?
and which violate both the Bible and the Constitution. The pledge, in all of its forms, has outlived its usefulness and simply has to go.
No,
How does
about you go? Go to your fucking whatever the fuck country that you want to live in that is not the United States and just leave, because we don't need people like you.
How does it contradict the Constitution?
I don't know.
You got
Probably
me.
because the Constitution. I think that's they also want. Even though like there was a whole lot of Christian symbolisms and idealisms, but they also wanted to separate the church and state. So that's probably what this idiot's going for.
Yeah, separation of church and state isn't in the Constitution.
Well, he seems to think that it is.
Yeah, but they don't know that. In its place, our schools should adopt another focusing activity to establish order and signal the beginning of the lesson. A recitation is not without merit, and the routine of reciting a pledge can easily be adopted into something more productive.
Oh yes, here's my progressive pledge to you. Here are every single one of my democratic talking points, all organized into one little poem that you can recite every day to further indoctrinate your mind with the poison that I have concocted.
As an alternative, our schools should adopt the teacher-led recitation of a denouncement of racism penned by a poet such as Amanda Gorman. It would be a great benefit if students across the country stood in unison and declared their commitment to fighting institutionalized evil.
Amanda Gorman is shit, and so are you.
I am so fucking tired of hearing this stupid racist bullshit argument that is completely unfounded.
I'm not a racist. This guy is a racist. And we need to start calling these people out. Don't even bother arguing with them. Just say, you're racist. And you want to know the best part? They can't stand when you call them a racist to their face. They're like, no, I'm not. You're the racist. And it's kind of beautiful because you don't even have to argue. Just keep calling them a racist. Just say you're being a racist, and they'll hate it. They'll block you. They'll be like, no, because the second that you contradict their internal philosophy, or lack thereof, at least, they start just spazzing out from the what do you call it? Cognitive dissonance.
Jack, I hate to slightly disagree with you, but they do have a defense against that. It's the I'm rubber, you're glue. Everything you say bounces off me and sticks to you. And if they say that, what do you do?
No, but apart from that, there's also the thing of, well, we all carry some racism, and I apologize if my internalized racism seeped out. You know, they all pretend that they're sort of owning their racism because they're white, so they're inherently racist.
No, but here's the thing. That excuse was concocted so that they could talk themselves out of being a racist piece of shit. But if you say they're being racist, that they are acting racist right now, that is what contradicts their internal philosophy, because they don't understand that they have the capacity to do evil things. And that's what really drives these people, is they have justified in their mind that everything I do is perfect all the time. And so because everything I do is perfect all the time, that allows me to do anything I want.
Even
and so they
social construct.
Yeah, like Dr. Keefe says in chat, that's why they have the prejudice plus power thing, so that they can deny their racism.
And then the funny part is they say, "Oh well, I have inherent white privilege, so I am imperfect, but therein lies my perfection in the fact that I recognize how evil a person I am."
Jack, this author's goddess, Anita Sarkeesian, is obviously given the credo of everything is racist, everything is sexist, everything is homophobic, and you have to call it all out. That's exactly what he's doing. He's just doing what his goddess is telling him to do.
True.
The statement could be changed yearly or even monthly and be used as a means of creating awareness both for living authors and to underscore the importance of the ongoing fight for equality. It makes no sense to maintain relics of the past out of a sense of tradition. Racism itself is an American tradition, and it's only by adopting new practices that we can move forward and ensure a better world for ourselves and for our children.
How the hell is racism an American tradition? There is hate every fucking where in this world.
Slavery, bad.
Only among white people. Only white people have ever been racist.
I have a proposal for our author. If you give me a Dixie cup, a porn mag, and a private room for 10 minutes, I can come up with something of greater substance and more value than this writer has ever produced in his entire life.
And on the plus side, what you're creating will be gender fluid, so there's that too.
Get your mind out of the gutter. It's an arts and crafts project.
I made a popsicle stick person.
Would that be your spirit glue?
All right. And with the end of the first article comes our first game, which is one that I like to call Sad Libs.
Yay.
Oh, would it be appropriate for me to say thank you, God, right now?
All right. Now, I don't know if you've played this before, Jack, but this is where I take 4 headlines from Medium and take out one word, and you guys fill that in Mad Lib style. And unfortunately, the poll thing for Streamlabs just doesn't seem to want to work, so gonna have trouble with the whole voting for a winner thing tonight. But you know, we can get the gist of how the chat feels, I'm sure. All right,
Yeah.
so Jack Gunsky, I need a plural noun.
Can I have a minute?
Okay.
Come back to me.
All right. Moonshock, I need a work of fiction.
Let's see. I almost want to say Mein Kampf, but that's not a work of fiction.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're gonna have to give me some time too.
You
Sorry.
people suck.
All right, Terry, I need a plural noun.
Niggers.
Okay, I got one. My work of fiction will be Roots.
There you go.
I was expecting you to go with Tron.
I would have said power plus privilege. How about vaginas?
I think Terry's is already gonna win.
No,
so.
yeah. Let's just go with vaginas.
All right.
Watch this. It's gonna be some feminist bullshit, and then I'm gonna. Oh, it actually works.
Are you still going with the Roots, Moon?
You really want me to say Tron Legacy, don't you?
What?
I'll go. I must say. Yeah, go with Roots.
How about work of fiction? A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. Howard Zinn, human dumpster fire of the historical universe.
All right, and Jack Cochran, I need an adjective.
Juicy.
Oh, that's always a good one.
That's a good one. I smell a winner.
I won it with Juicy 2 weeks ago.
And Kyla points out that the Communist Manifesto is a work of fiction. So there you go. There's another good answer.
Utopian fiction, like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for the donation. Reject modernity, embrace tradition. If that fails, reject society, return to monkey. Indeed.
All right, and let's see. Jack Gunsky's is Israel solved the problem of Jewish vaginas.
Oh my God.
That's interesting.
All
right.
Did they turn them into their own little gas chambers?
I'm just imagining vaginas wearing like yarmulkes right now.
No, it's vaginas, but the pubic hair is made into side curls.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
shame
acidic.
on you.
It's a Hasidic vagina?
All right, and now you're gonna see why I wanted you to go with Tron. All right, Moon's.
Fine. Change it to Tron.
All right.
I already know what's gonna happen, but
Well, see, now it's gonna feel like it's forced.
okay, fine. Leave Roots in there. Fuck, I don't care.
I already changed it.
Oh, all right, fine.
All right. Tron is really about unrequited gay love.
Oh, you asshole.
Well, Roots would have been a much more disturbing response to that.
The original name was The Little Mermaid is really about.
Oh, actually, I've read that article.
All right, and now Terry's. What makes Australian niggers so appealing to men?
When they're huffing gasoline and laying on the side of the road, it's real sexy.
And Jack Cochran's. I'm still breaking free of the juicy Asian girl stereotype.
Ooh.
Ah! You can't break free from reality, man.
Well, I mean, if she's writing an article like this, she very well could.
How would you? What exactly would a juicy Asian girl look like?
Oh, you want to see some pictures?
No,
No, we don't have time.
Check,
Yeah.
check hashtag MITAM. There's some very good pictures. Becca puts them. Potato puts them. There's a lot of stuff there.
We'll take care of this after the show.
In more ways than one.
All right. So, like I said, the polling thing isn't really working, but people in chat just decide which one you think is best.
Yes, put in your letter, I guess.
I see a couple for Jack Cochran.
Yay.
J for Jack, M for me, T for Terry, and the G for the Jack
Yes,
Cochran.
Good Jack.
So far, the juicy Asian girls are winning.
Yeah, so far they are.
Yeah, they're juicy Asian girls. How could they not win?
I don't know, I kind of like Terry's.
It was so apt.
What makes Australian niggers so appealing to men?
There's a couple for Moon. One for Jack, or Jack Gunsky.
I don't think I've ever.
I think Cochran's got it. I think he's still winning.
Yeah.
Yay.
Although Tron is not really about undercoated gay love, so
Actually, it is. It really
Shut
is.
up.
All right. Well, you can't really make it official, but let's just say that Jack Cochran won.
I think so. Yeah.
I like
See?
winning.
Juicy is always the word to go for as an adjective.
Apparently so.
All right, and on to our second article. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier reminds us that black superheroes need to fly solo.
Why is a black man looking at a Captain America shield? Captain America's a white dude.
That's Falcon.
No, but he passed the torch onto a black person because he turned into an old white man. And that's what we do now is we artificially replace white people with black people, more specifically white gingers.
So shut up, first of all, and second of all, and second of all, what makes everybody seem to think that the black people are so much more qualified to get said superpowers, said items, said whatever? Because take a look at the history going back for how many untold thousands of years. Why didn't Africa develop like the other parts of the world?
Well, I think what you're forgetting, Moonshock, melanin is the source of all empathy. I heard that somewhere.
Okay.
And that's why they're more qualified.
And that means that you're less. You're
Got
less.
it. Oh, and,
Yes.
and we also can't remember, or we also can't forget that that Wakanda was hidden. So I'm guessing that there's a bunch of super secret high technology black areas that are still hidden from the world, like Wakanda was. Right?
Obviously.
Yeah, they have special laser spears.
Yeah, modern black history is fictional. The most prominent black history today is entirely fictional.
Well,
What about Jussie Smollett? That was real.
No, but I mean like the black Israelite shit, the Jesus was black type of people. Shakespeare, definitely black. And between that and Wakanda, God, this is just total and utter fiction for no reason. And you know what? It's really kind of a shame because maybe there is interesting black history out there that went totally unrecorded because I'm pretty sure most of Africa didn't even have a written language until Europeans showed up.
At the end of 2019's Avengers Endgame, an elderly Steve Rogers passes his mantle as Captain America to his trusted comrade Sam Wilson. This exchange is more than just figurative. Rogers entrusts Wilson with his iconic shield. Forged with vibranium from the nation of Wakanda, the shield should now belong to someone whose ancestors were taken from the same continent centuries ago.
shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
It was not the only moment within Endgame where a black hero replaced a white predecessor. The film functioned to resolve multiple disparate storylines and launch the Marvel Cinematic Universe into a new narrative phase. But it was the most significant.
Mm-hmm.
As the original Captain America's arc came to an end, a new one entered the spotlight. For the audience, it was a long overdue gesture of black superhero representation.
Oh, is it just like how woke it is to have Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill too?
It's really disgusting because I've never seen anyone celebrate a superhero or any character at all for being white. Yet whenever there's a character that is black, it's such a big deal. I don't understand that why someone needs to look like you in order for you to empathize with them.
Look, it's not
It's sick.
no, it's not our fault you haven't been made aware of the adventures of Mayo McWhite's a lot. He's a very celebrated white superhero. He goes around manifest destining all over the place and lifting people up with his power of white man's burden. It's tragic that you're unaware of these things, but yeah, this is not surprising. They did this storyline in the comic books, where Falcon took over as Captain America.
Yeah,
But
I have no problem with Falcon taking over because I think he's a good character and it makes sense. Like I just think it's stupid to make it all about race.
oh, it is, and the show's been pretty good about not doing that. There are some subtle undertones. I don't know if you guys have been watching it.
No, I haven't.
I've seen the first two, but not the latest.
But to me, it's sending the message that black people can't do anything on their own. They can only build on a foundation that white people provide.
Yeah,
Like, that's the message that
Exactly.
it's sending to me.
Absolutely. And that's the problem. They're taking hand-me-down mantles instead of lifting up. The Falcon is a really cool character on his own, and he's got a completely different skill set than Captain America. So why not just emphasize his strengths and celebrate the character? Because he's got a long history. He's been around since the 60s. He was Captain America's partner, not a sidekick, his partner for decades, and he was a really solid character.
Because Jack, black people are inherently inferior, and so they need to replace white people in order for us to prop them up so that they won't look inferior, even though they are. Because that's the way these things work, apparently.
No,
I
you
guess
say
so.
you say that sarcastically, but black people can't even find the DMV, so I'm pretty sure they
Yeah, I
are
know.
inferior.
Yeah, it's like they have like good black characters, like they have the Falcon and War Machine. They have good women characters like Black
Storm.
Widow and Scarlet Witch. But
And
like,
Storm.
well, I'm talking about the MCU.
Who cares?
Well, this.
Oh wait, I shouldn't
just
say that in front of Jack.
well, I'm just saying is that like they have good minority characters, but when they have the ones that's like, okay, this is our black superhero, like the Black Panther movie was sucked, or this is our woman
Yeah.
superhero, Captain Marvel sucked. Just make a hero who is black or a woman or whatever, but don't make that the defining feature of them.
I wish that we could live in a world where I could see a black character on screen and not think to myself immediately that it was just a chintzy, ridiculous maneuver to incorporate someone based on their race. I
My-
wish I could live in a world like that.
See, the way I generally see it is how good is the character? Like we've had this conversation before about Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where Captain Holt, I have no doubt in my mind the reason he is black and gay is purely to tick off boxes, but he's still a good character because even though the reason he's black and gay is to tick off boxes, he has more than that to his character.
Yeah.
So, oh, were you about to say something?
No, I just think it really comes down to the writing. If they
Yeah.
could get away from the talking points and just make interesting characters, people wouldn't give a fuck. But they can't. They got to do the hammer it in your face. This is how what you have to like, you bigots.
See, that's the thing, is that when I see these characters and I know that they're incorporated for that reason, I then listen to them butcher the writing because they are incapable. People who have this kind of thinking are deconstructionists by nature, which means that
Yeah.
they're incapable of creating something. They're incapable of thinking of a good plot. They only know how to destroy things. They do not know how to create.
That's because they're baby brain morons. But yeah,
Clearly,
Nicholas
you've
mentioned.
never read America Chavez.
I wish I had it, But
But just to point out something, you may say they're baby brain more. I don't think all of them are women.
no, I know, but some of them are feminist men, which is worse.
That's true.
Yeah.
So then they're kind of like rapey baby brain morons. But Nicholas pointed out Blade, and that's a good example because Blade, it didn't matter if he was black. They didn't throw that in your face every 2 minutes. He just went around killing vampires. It was awesome. And we all loved it. Nobody cared.
But he didn't pay his target. Oh wait, no, that's somebody else. Never mind.
He didn't pay his taxes. He's a sovereign citizen.
Sam Wilson, better known as the Falcon, made his cinematic debut in Captain America Winter Soldier. For years he existed alongside Captain America as his counterpart, essentially the norm for black superheroes.
Oh, fuck off.
Save for Black Panther and his fellow Wakandans, sidekick status has been all but the default for black characters in the MCU. War Machine, Monica Rambeau, Baron Mordo, the list goes on.
Wait. Why can't what's gonna be enough? Because honestly, half of the stuff in that last sentence was basically just trying to overlook all of the progressive standpoints that the Marvel Universe took for their stupid movies. Except for these examples where we have black leaning heroes, there are all these things of secondary characters who are still important to a series' success. What is going to be good enough for you? Yeah, if you subtract all the value from the things you're talking about, there's not going to be much value there. Well, no shit. It's like saying if I took all the milk out of this milk jug, there would be no milk left. Well, yeah, that's definitionally true. If you remove all of the value from Marvel's accomplishments, there's no value left.
Marvel has no value, Jack Gunsky.
It's absolutely ludicrous to me.
There you go. Heard it from the horse's mouth.
You're a horse?
No, he's a pug.
Shut up, you bastard.
That's all expected to change with the arrival of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney+. While it was intended to be the first original MCU series on the platform, COVID-related shooting delays meant that WandaVision beat it to the punch. Still, the new series is an ambitious effort by Marvel, especially with all a Black Captain America represents now. The series will draw.
What exactly? What does a Black Captain America represent now, other than hey, look how much we can virtue signal? Bullshit.
It represents progress.
Whatever. Progress from hey, look how great of a society we had until look at the shit society we have now.
Yes,
if that's what you call progress.
They're going to found the Avengers Autonomous Zone.
We're gonna have a Marvel version of Chaz.
Hell yeah.
The series will draw inspiration from a recent comic arc wherein the original Captain America was forced to retire and Falcon picks up the shield. As Marvel's first African-American hero within Marvel, Black Panther is technically African. Falcon's promotion represented a pivotal moment that stemmed from a more significant attempt to diversify the comics.
Oh my god.
Why Go ahead.
No, just everything is like the first bullshit. I don't give a flying fuck about the first anything anymore. The first used to mean something, but if you atomize everything like these people do, nothing has any value anymore. Well, you're the first. This is the first female to be a doctor and a superhero at the same time. It's meaningless. It's meaningless.
Well, it's about as important as those idiots that always have to do their first posts, like whenever they reply to a video or something. Like first, like nobody fucking cares.
Oh, everybody cares. The people who say they don't care are the people who can't get first.
That's right.
You want to know why I'm never first? Because I don't comment. I just don't care, and it annoys me to see Waston with like first. You're a fucking idiot.
Spoken like a person who has never come first.
Hey, you shut your goddamn. Well, fuck you.
Yeah, it
Facts.
is. It is social etiquette that if you finish before her, you yell first and then run out the door. I'm pretty sure that's a fact.
No, you yell first, give her a thumbs up, and then leave.
That's
Yeah.
right. You've got to like the video first.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jack. That's a good mental picture.
Here to help.
Falcon has existed within the comics since 1969, often used in the early years to address racism with a comic spin. During this time, he was shown fighting white supremacists and a paramilitary group. It drew criticism from some conservatives and Marvel fans who felt real-world matters had no place within the comics, even though many iconic heroes were often shown fighting racism, like Black Panther taking on the Ku Klux Klan. Falcon taking on the role of Captain America would send the largest message on race in the MCU to date.
So it's a good thing that the Democrats came up with the KKK then, huh? That means that Black Panther's taking on the Democrats?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just a disagreement.
Ah, okay. It's like, you stop that. And then he just walks away.
Then he
I
raises
just
their taxes.
I just want these people to shut the fuck up. I just want them to shut the fuck up. That's all I
never
really
gonna
want.
There's-
I want to enjoy my shit in peace without these people trying to make everything into something.
There's this thing
Is-
called the internet that allows anyone to say everything that they want.
I know, but can't someone just write a fucking movie anymore? Just
No.
write a fucking movie without interjecting some sort of broad political social narrative into it.
Jack, you're in luck. You are in luck. There's a website called Pornhub, nothing but fucking movies, and very, very few politics I've seen.
Oh no, under the handicap section, you'll find a lot of Biden porn.
Yeah.
I've seen
I disagree. I've seen videos with people dressed as Trump, Hillary, and Bernie.
That doesn't surprise me. I should have known this.
So does that mean there's actual footage of the Democrat Party fucking Bernie up the ass?
Probably yes.
And for the record, I didn't watch it. I just saw the thumbnail.
That's what they all say. That's what they all say.
You were doing some research, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's the same reason he used to go to Stormfront.
Yeah, used to.
All right. Let's see. In the days leading up to the show's release, the stars and team behind The Falcon and the Winter Soldier have said they didn't want to shy away from controversial topics. Kevin Feige, the public maestro of the Marvel films and TV shows, says Falcon's arc will be grounded within his experience as a black man.
Wow, that's not going to get very far.
Experience. This is gonna be like that movie from MST3K, isn't it?
No,
Experience
what
as a
I
black
want-
man.
What I want is for this new Captain America to try and hail a cab, and it just drives past.
Yeah, see, this way, all the black flying people out there will be able to identify with him.
Oh, that's
Well-
good. That's a relief.
Will this new Black Captain America run?
Huh?
No, the new Black Captain America, the villain will constantly try to touch his hair.
But I have to ask: do they at least change the name to Blackton America?
Oh,
Captain
and
Black
whenever
America.
he gets whenever he gets injured, he can't find any black skin colored band-aids.
Oh, that is perfect. That is perfect.
And does he get paid? Does he get paid? What 13% less than the white Captain America?
Well, I imagine that he probably can't look at a white woman without getting in trouble.
Oh yeah, no, he looks at a white woman, and then the rest of the town chases him out.
Where are all the white women
Axes
at?
and shit.
Or maybe just while he's running away, he's just got bundles of cotton that you don't know where he got them from.
Oh, Jesus.
See, we've got ideas. They should hire us.
I would pay money to see this movie.
This movie
Does
would
he-
be horrible.
It would be
will-
horrible, but I'd pay money to see it.
Will he own a certain amount of specifically catered fast food restaurants?
I think that's a necessity.
Yeah, he's always getting pulled over by the cops, and they keep finding weed in his shield.
Kentucky Fried Captain.
Yeah.
Do you know why I pulled you over, sir?
He's like, yeah, you want some?
Superheroing what? Black, obviously.
Just gonna skip ahead a paragraph or two.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Who's the new Captain America's enemy? Would it be a Major Kneels on neck?
Oh,
It would
Jesus.
just be- it would be Dr. Chauvin. You know, like instead of like Dr.
The neck kneeler.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, the neck kneeler.
But how far is Marvel willing to delve into race? It seems like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier wants to tackle the issue in a way that makes sense to the established universe, which is somewhat puzzling. Except for a handful of remarks scattered throughout the films, there's no significant mention of race within the MCU. In a universe of aliens, magicians, gods, and other imaginary beings, dealing with everyday microaggressions and discrimination is probably not high on the list of priorities.
Do you want to know why? Because that is fantasy. It doesn't have anything to do with reality whatsoever.
No, you want to know why microaggressions aren't a priority? It's because they're definitionally small.
No. I just had a brilliant idea for the movie. So we have him always carry a packet of cigarettes for when he finally reunites with his father. I found them for you, Dad.
Wow.
Holy shit!
You know, I just realized that it would actually make sense if Ant-Man did microaggressions to him.
Oh, there you go.
We are all going to hell.
Yeah.
No, while he's microscopic, he asks Falcon, "Where are you from?"
Yes, exactly.
Whenever he's small, he asks all those questions.
Yeah, like when he shrinks down to tiny, he goes, "You speak English very well."
He
clean and
shrinks down to
articulate.
tiny. You're very articulate. Damn it, you beat me to it.
Without any previous indication of how race factors into the lives of such characters, it seems like a superficial pass. The writer's room will have to justify how racism suddenly became a thing within the series, an enormous and unenviable task.
It became a thing because you fucking people made it a thing.
What do you mean, you people?
I'm going to talk about the... Fuck you.
Kyler in chat says, "Good God, Terry." I will take that as a compliment.
Paul Rudd could pull it off.
There's also the problem of proper representation for black superheroes within the MCU. The series marks the first time a black hero has emerged from the shadow of their main counterpart and is allowed to be a headliner.
You mean like Blade?
Shh, Blade doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Even with his story taking the stage, Falcon has to share co-billing with a white anti-hero.
Oh my god.
God.
Those
Oh,
fucking racists. Holy shit.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier seems to draw inspiration from the buddy cop genre, where it's commonplace to pair a white and black character to explore cultural differences.
Wait. Are they calling him Winter Soldier because Snow is white and he just happens to be a white person?
yeah,
makes
obviously.
sense.
Fucking
Yes.
racist.
Cracker Soldier.
Cracker Soldier.
That approach is a fraught one. In that trope, black characters are usually constructed as sidekicks who function only to educate their white counterparts on such differences. If a character like Falcon is not allowed to exist independently, is this a repeat of the same function from the comic's early days? The concept could work.
What?
How exactly does a black sidekick educate a white superhero?
With sass.
Also, I think that it's funny that this person should discuss a comic book's early days when it's very obvious that they know nothing about any comics early days whatsoever.
Yeah.
Of course, Jack. Of course, good Jack can probably testify to that a lot better than I can.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
you are Blackjack after all.
oh yeah, that's fair. Got you there, man. No, I never thought of Falcon as a sidekick or an ancillary character. He was Cap's partner. They were pulling their own weight. That
Making the black man pull all the weight. I see how it is.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you make a point though. There's a difference between a sidekick and a partner.
yeah, and he was doing actual heavy lifting on the team. It's not like
So he
would
was
be
a
like,
slave.
"Go get him, Cap."
So
No,
he
no,
was
no,
a slave forced to do all the heavy lifting.
It's because this writer saw Falcon's character on a comic book and immediately thought sidekick. Just
Yeah.
like he sees a depiction of a monkey in Planet of the Apes and automatically thinks black man. Or he sees an orc in Skyrim and automatically thinks black man.
What, you don't?
You know what I just realized is that for the villain of the series, if they hadn't already killed him off, they should have brought in Whiplash.
Oh yeah. Wow.
What? I
That
don't
took
get
me a
it.
second. That took me a second.
I say nothing.
Can someone explain this to me?
The
Oh
black
my
guy,
God, seriously.
Whiplash.
Kunta
I get you.
Kinte.
If you don't know now, you will never know, Jack.
No, I recognize it.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I mean, Tonto, that is a sidekick. Robin, that is a partner. You know, there's
Yeah,
a
it's-
difference between the
I'd
two.
call Robin a sidekick.
Yeah, Robin's a sidekick.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in the old days, Robin was definitely a sidekick. Now he's more of a partner.
Yeah, he's
So
kind of
that-
evolved.
Yeah,
Hey.
there was an
A life
evolutionary
partner?
change.
Yeah.
Do you mean a
Uh,
life partner?
I was
Because
gonna say.
there was some subtext in those episodes.
A hetero life mate.
Is that why Batman
Hetero,
was always
yes.
behind Robin when they scaled buildings on the rope?
Hetero in the largest scare quotes you can imagine.
Yes. Yes.
The concept would work in execution, but it's a shame the series already seems to undercut the star power of its black superhero. Marvel's
'Cause
push for
nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. They really don't.
Marvel's push for diversity and moving away from its staple of white superheroes is certainly welcome. But it remains to be seen if the franchise can handle such a nuanced topic as racism. Black Panther tackled this to some extent by rooting itself in conversations around the black diaspora. The Netflix series Luke Cage, which is no longer considered MCU canon by the main franchise, also it sucked, had mixed results with somewhat dated ideologies, and both were built around mostly black casts.
See, that's the thing. Again, I've said this before. There is no place for racism, any kind of attention given toward it in a comic series. It is supposed to be fantasy. It always has been, always should be. These motherfuckers are the ones that are bringing this stupid topic into it where it doesn't belong. Nobody fucking cares about the race of your character, so long as it is a good comic. I mean, Jack Cochran, he can back me up here. As long as the comic is good, nobody gives a flying fuck what skin color your superhero is.
True.
So
That's the problem is they've gotten away from having fun and made it all about politics. And they're turning them into chick tracks. There's no
Yes.
way around it.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
I mean-
love chick tracks. Those things are hilarious.
Yeah, these aren't funny on purpose though. These are just funny sad.
Yeah,
They
fair
really
enough.
are, and they're going to end up losing the writer's money, or like the manufacturers or whoever buys out or owns the franchise.
I
They're going to
hope-
lose.
Yep.
I hope they do. I think that we generally need to recognize that there are certain qualities of what we're watching that do not count as canon. Like we can just say it's sort of like the Doctor Who fans, whenever they talk about Jodie Whittaker, they say that Jodie Whittaker was not canon, does not exist.
I
You
don't
know what
even
I
know
mean?
who you're talking about.
The
This is
woman
not-
doctor.
Nope, that's not a
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There was never a female doctor. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's not a real thing.
Yeah.
Stop making shit up, Gunsky.
I don't watch
Sorry-
Doctor Who.
sorry,
I'm not
what-
some
what-
nerd.
What was I talking about? I don't watch Doctor Who either. However, I do watch Nerdrotic because I do like him describing the modern, trash fire of the modern entertainment industry.
Well,
Yeah, I'll give you
and
that.
Going back to my topic just a moment ago, name me one franchise that is actually, since it went woke, that has actually been profitable. And I'm not talking about comic book franchise. I'm talking about anything. There's a reason why they say get woke, go broke, because these companies do. Well, I don't know if the companies do, but they lose money on this bullshit.
It depends. Was it shown in China?
That's a fair point.
No, no. Actually, China kind of hates the woke shit.
Well, they also
That's-
don't exactly thrilled about black people either. If you've seen the way they treat them over there.
Yeah, but
It's all the
speaking of things that don't exist, someone should make a movie about the Street Fighter games.
They already did, and it was horrible.
No, they didn't.
Can you believe they didn't put Chun-Li in the Mortal Kombat movie?
That's just a ridiculous oversight, really.
I know, it was awful. Bastards.
and they forgot
How
Pac-Man too.
Yeah, it's
I know.
true.
It never ends.
And
These are different franchises.
and no
That's the joke.
Hubert.
I know it is, but I'm like, what the fuck? Stop messing with my brain here.
All right, it's just another paragraph or so left. Outside of Falcon's sister's seemingly confirmed casting, it does not appear to be the case for his series. To experience an MCU series with an African-American hero as the lone star, viewers will probably have to wait a year for Dominique Thorne in Ironheart, or perhaps Don Cheadle in Armor Wars. Cheadle as James Rhodes / War Machine is expected to make a cameo in the Falcon and the Winter
Martine.
Soldier.
Martine. There's an R in there.
Marcin. War Marcin.
Why even, honestly, why even bother? Because as soon as they do that, the next thing, why isn't there a new black superhero woman?
Yep.
That's
And
all
when
I'm gonna
the-
say.
When
I
there
thought
is
her name
one,
was
why
I
is
thought her name
she
was Kamala
disabled?
Harris. Sorry about that, Terry. Why is she disabled? No.
No. There'll be once they get the black woman, it's like, why isn't she disabled? So they make a disabled
yeah.
one. Why isn't she trans?
Yep, because we have to have that less than 1% of the population somehow represented in like over 60% of their stuff.
Well,
But the
War
other
Machine-
There
1%, the
needs to-
gingers,
There
What?
needs to be a Wolfkin superhero.
there absolutely does.
A furry.
It's the only equitable solution.
well, you have Beast from the X-Men.
No.
Ah.
For now, Marvel has placed a heavy responsibility on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Here's hoping Anthony Mackie and crew can soar with it.
Here's hoping that all of them die in a fucking fire so that somebody else can actually make a decent movie out of it.
They won't.
Oh.
There's no such thing as a decent movie anymore.
True.
Yeah, all good movies are racist, and all bad movies are woke.
What the fuck is this guy's name? Sevi? Save? Seve?
Well,
Survey.
judging by Marcin, maybe you just misspelled Steve.
It's quite possible.
All right, and now it's time for our second game, which I call Poe or No. In this one, I'll give you 3 headlines, 2 of which are from Medium and 1 I made up. And you have to figure out which one is made up.
It's B.
It's fiction.
All right. A. What do Joe Biden and the Avengers have in common? B. Snyder's films embody toxic masculinity, and the Snyder Cut proves it. Or C. Caring about Asian women means caring about sex worker rights.
See, because it has Asian women in it.
We're supposed to pick which one's fake? These all sound like real articles.
That's the
This is a
point.
trick.
Yeah.
I think that B is real, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I said it before, and I'm gonna stick to my guns. So
No,
B.
I'm gonna go with A.
I'm gonna go with A because I want this to be like, if this is a real article, I want to read it. So I'm gonna go with A. So if I'm wrong, I at least get an article to read.
Yep.
All right, and
I'm
Jack
gonna go
Cochran?
with A as well. Yeah.
Oh, why should be C?
what
Because
did
the
Joe-
audience thinks C.
All right.
What did Joe Biden and the Avengers have in common? They both
Fucking-
have half turned to dust.
So that's
They
3
s-
A's
they
and 1
sniffed
B.
it.
And the answer is B is fake.
Oh,
okay.
Holy shit! I did not
Damn.
actually expect that.
That seemed like something you would read on Fox. Oh,
We
Yeah,
got you.
that seemed like the most real. Damn it, you're too good. Didn't I tell you guys that Frost is an evil genius?
yeah, we've known that for a while. I knew C was real because I tweeted that article out.
I was actually convinced that B had to be real.
Why?
Like just the way it was written is like, okay, no, B's one of the real ones. Like I was between A and C, so I was way off.
I've picked up the pattern of how they write their headlines.
You have.
You should do that to yourself. You're going to get hurt.
All right, and now for our third article. Should men be able to opt out of fatherhood?
Well, I thought that's what they do when they go and get cigarettes.
The pros and cons of financial abortions.
Oh my god. I'll be right back. Fuck this.
I agree with Dave Chappelle. If women can murder them, men can abandon them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lauren Wells and Matt Dubay dated casually for a few months. By the time she found out she was pregnant, they had already broken up. He wanted her to have an abortion. She didn't and decided to keep the baby. He refused to pay child support, forcing her to turn to the authorities. Dubay versus Wells, the male equivalent of Roe v. Wade. The resulting legal battle became a major milestone in men's reproductive rights, with some comparing it to the men's equivalent of Roe v. Wade. In court, then 25-year-old Dubay presented the argument that in the case of an unplanned pregnancy, men should have a right to opt out of the legal and financial responsibilities that come with parenthood, effectively choosing not to be a parent. The judge ruled against Dubay, noting, if chivalry is not dead, its viability is gravely imperiled by the plaintiff in this case.
You have got to be shitting me. The law does not establish chivalry.
It's right there in between the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need the magnifying glass to read the fine print. It's at the back.
Yeah, you mean you can't see it? Wow, dude. Must be your
Well-
bigotry in the way.
No, because I can't see it. That makes me disabled, and that makes me more acceptable as part of the woke crowd.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You do get points for that.
Yeah. It annoys me that the term used is chivalry, indicating that child support is some sort of favor done to the mother, an act of grandeur, rather than just...
Oh, so winning isn't good enough for you. Shut up, bitch.
rather than just the right thing to do in order to be accountable and responsible for your own actions.
Nothing is ever good enough. Nothing is. Not only do you have to prostrate yourself. Sorry, what's the right word? Holy shit!
Prostrate.
Prostrate.
Prostate.
If you'd like to prostrate yourself, then go ahead.
But not only do you have to prostrate yourself, you have to smile while you're doing it. You can't just. You can't just. Oh, what's the? Never mind. Keep going.
Considering that Lauren Wells had to give up far more than just money when she had a kid. Still, the case raises some interesting questions. At the time, the National Center for Men wrote in a press release, Roe v. Wade gave women control of their reproductive lives, but nothing in the law changed for men. Women now have control of their lives after an unplanned conception, but men are routinely forced to give up control, forced to be financially responsible for choices only women are permitted to make, forced to relinquish reproductive choice.
Not wrong.
Yeah,
That's true. Like factually true.
that was in 1996, 25 years ago. And since, not much has changed. There haven't been any similar court cases, perhaps because of the precedent set by Dubé versus Wells. Francis Goldschneider, a retired sociology professor at Brown University, was one of the first academics to put forward the idea of a financial abortion, in which a man would have a certain amount of time after being notified of an accidental conception to decide to give up on the legal rights and obligations of parenthood. This would be non-reversible. Legally, this would be similar to sperm donors. Interestingly, the idea of paper abortions or financial abortions is something that is raised equally by feminists as men's rights activists. It touches the very core of certain feminist ideas, autonomy over one's own reproduction and body. Let's see.
But no, I think that both abortion and financial abortion are pretty shitty things to do. But if you allow one, you have to allow the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It is fundamentally true that no one should be forced into parenthood against their will. We defend tooth and nail and with great difficulty women's rights to control their own fertility and decide when and how they start a family. Because
But
of
now,
this fact.
but now watch as this author trips over their own feet trying to defend this position.
Consenting to cis heterosex does not mean consenting to have a child.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
As philosophy professor Elizabeth Brake wrote in the Journal of Applied Philosophy in 2005, if women's partial responsibility for pregnancy does not obligate them to support a fetus, then men's partial responsibility for pregnancy does not obligate them to support a resulting child. We know how fundamentally different, i.e. better, women's lives are when they have access to contraception and safe, free abortions. Safe, free abortions now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, you have to pay for the wire hanger, but I mean, that's not that much.
You
In
get
this-
those for free.
In the same way that women shouldn't have to pay the price for sexual pleasure. Sexual
Pressure?
Pressure.
Sexual pleasure.
Frosted, I know you want to appeal to Jack, but you don't have to sound Asian just to get on his good side.
Frosted, are
Sexual
you
pressure.
Ronry?
Nor should men.
The Ronry and Unnery are own.
All right, and now we get to the author's opinion on this. Women are forced into motherhood, and paper abortions would make it worse.
Fuck off.
Wow.
Man.
But the problem is, women don't currently have this freedom. There are many societal and legal factors that mean that women are still forced to have children when they don't want to. Until women truly have that freedom, allowing men paper abortions would just give them a way to cop out of their responsibilities, putting the burden
Women-
of child rearing and the mental load of contraception on women.
Women are allowed to have abortions. They have always been allowed to have abortions. And now the men are telling them to get an abortion and they don't want one. That is the situation this person is discussing.
Now, abortions, contraceptions, condoms, none of those exist.
It's not real. There's nothing about this argument that this person just said that has any basis in reality.
Listen to all those hate facts he's dropping. I don't like that.
I know. We need to kick him
Yeah.
off this show. It's a disgrace.
This is
A
why I'm
woman
always timing them out.
a woman can literally get an abortion without the consent of the other parent. The other parent could be like, please don't get an abortion. The woman could be like, fuck you, and get one anyway. And there would be zero consequence to her for it. Zero. Nada. Not even a written statement about it.
Well, plus some women are like abortion's like a badge of honor for them.
How?
Well, what about Lindsay Ellis, the nostalgia chick, who got pregnant purely for the sake of recording the abortion process?
Yeah,
Like,
it's fucked up.
That is still one of the most disgustingly evil things I've ever heard in my life.
She wouldn't happen to be that same bitch that recorded herself on TikTok of dancing her way into the abortion clinic.
No idea.
Okay, because there's some stupid fucking woman who she was so like, I'm going to get an abortion. I'm gonna make myself a TikTok video of me dancing my way into the abortion clinic because it's something that you should. So great.
Because she was with that guy with the glasses, Nostalgia Critic and Channel Awesome, and her idea for a video was to get pregnant and then film the abortion process, and that was like her idea for content for her channel.
Wow. That's fucked up.
Someday she'll make someone a very happy man by blowing her brains out.
Yeah.
And Dr. Kiev is right. And if the baby is not even if it's not even if the baby is not even belonging to the dude, if the baby belongs to some other dude, she can get away with paternity fraud by saying, "Oh, well, I know that I didn't tell you it wasn't your baby or anything like that, but oops, you got to deal with it."
Yeah,
and you know what? Sometimes courts will actually side with the mother in that case. Yeah, it's not your baby, but fuck you because you're a man.
Pretty much.
If you sign the birth certificate in most states, you're taking responsibility for it.
Which is pretty silly.
Unbelievable. And this person, this is so incredibly one-sided. This is such a one-sided issue. And this stupid piece of shit author is about to totally advocate for the total injustice that goes on in America every single day.
Aside from the fact that many countries and U.S. states make it illegal or extremely difficult to access abortion services, there are also moral...
Well, you're not in one of those other countries. You're in America.
That's just a detail.
Yeah. There are also moral or societal obstacles for many women. Sure, it is a medical procedure, and for some it is no big deal, but for others it is, and they have a right to not be forced to do something they see as wrong.
They want to keep the baby. That's what we're talking about. Women who want to keep the baby.
Growing up in a society where the question of abortion is fraught, where protesters stand outside of clinics and call you a murderer, where the media continue to refer to anti-abortion activists as pro-life, you cannot exactly say that women are free to opt out of motherhood.
Yes, you can, because they literally are. They're literally allowed to under the law.
No, she just said you can't.
But besides, I mean, murder might be the wrong word, but you are definitely killing. Like, there's a distinction there, but not an important one. I was like, I don't have a problem with them being called murderers.
Take Lauren Wells, who wrote in a written statement, "I believe life begins at conception and blossoms. Whether you agree with that or not, it doesn't matter. She has the right to respect her own morality," which means she never truly had a choice to have an abortion. Women should have the final decision on keeping a child or not, because they carry the psychological, physical, medical, and social burden of abortions.
They do. They totally do. They already do. This has been established for decades now. Why aren't you getting the picture, you fucking moron?
Well, she's explaining it, Jack. Come on.
Man, you knew this, Frosted, you knew this one would get to me. And I know you knew it. And I know you knew it.
Well, it wasn't meant for you specifically, but, Allowing men to sign a piece of paper to waive away their responsibilities would not make things fair. Abortions and financial abortions are in no way analogous.
And actually, because abortions are far, far worse. Like, killing is far, far worse than just not paying for it.
Okay, then. So this author says, "Oh, well, there's no inequity on this side of the equation, but it wouldn't make it any more inequity. Having this work in the total opposite direction wouldn't make things more equal." Okay, well, what would work? What would make it equal, asshole? Why don't you propose solutions instead of just blaming men for everything? Literally, just blaming men for fucking everything, even problems that don't exist.
That is her solution. That is what she's proposing as the way to solve everything. You blame men.
Unbelievable. This bitch is a piece of shit.
And Dr. Kiev in chat says, but it's a clump of cells. So is the person making that argument. They're just a clump of cells. Can we kill them?
I got a list if we're starting that shit.
Abortions and financial abortions are in no way analogous. One is a medical procedure that takes part in a woman's body and means there is never a child. It is a gesture that comes with a fraught history and political context. The other is a signature on a piece of paper. It doesn't do away with parenthood itself. It just allows a man to free himself from financial obligation, allowing him to opt out of his responsibilities towards a woman and child who already exists.
Wait a second. So abortion, you're not actually killing a person or anything. So you're not really doing anything. It's just some procedure that people get. There's no real weight to it at all. Whereas a man who's just signing a piece of paper, he's just signing a piece of paper. There's no responsibility. It's not equal at all to an abortion. It's not equal in any way.
And since when does a signed piece of paper recuse you from anything? Because you know damn well later on that woman's going to be like, I want money.
On the other hand, I do think that financial abortions would have some advantages for the women and children involved. Rather than having to chase up child support, single mothers could be granted higher aids from the state. The fact that they aren't receiving help would finally be transparent. And for kids, it might mean that there would be less fathers leaving later in their lives, or coming and going. Less deadbeat dads, more legally non-existent dads.
Well, that's the woman's problem, isn't it?
Yes. I don't like the idea that, oops, I had a kid, give me money now. No, fuck you. Make your own money.
I said no, you went ahead with it. So fuck you. This is the world that you want to live in. Go for it.
Fuck you is what caused the problem in the first place. So we might need to.
Got you there.
But paper abortions would, in general, make the situation even worse for women. Some would be forced to have abortions against their will or better judgment because they can't afford to raise a kid alone.
Then maybe you shouldn't have had sex, huh? Just
and
put it out there.
No, that's not an option. And if men had an easy way out in the case of an unplanned pregnancy, it would place the mental load of contraception and family planning even more squarely on women's shoulders. The fundamental truth is that no one should be forced into parenthood, but until
Except men, which you are literally arguing for right now, you dirty piece of shit.
No, she just said that you shouldn't be.
He's laughing. Frosted, you piece of shit, you're laughing too. You just I hear your little goblin snortling under the
To be fair, your aneurysm is going to be hilarious on
I know. It's I understand. I
don't know why Jack gets so angry at these. I think they're funny.
Drives
Agreed.
me batshit.
The fundamental
Kiv says, "Go grab your stress ball, Jack."
I don't have a stress ball.
He's already burst
part of the
7.
problem.
You've got 2 balls you can grab if you feel so inclined.
Then
just
you
don't
can
bust
sing like the
them.
Bee Gees.
If I squeeze those, I'll never get to have children.
But you'll
Problem
hit
solved.
that. But you'll hit that falsetto note that you've always wanted to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
But until women are genuinely free to choose whether or not to continue a pregnancy, And by
They
that,
are.
I mean that they have access to free, safe, legal abortions that aren't
Free? Why
more-
does it need to be free? Why does everything need to be free for decisions that you made? Sorry.
Because socialism.
because it's the state's
Basically.
responsibility to make up for a mistake that she made.
Because we need
Exactly.
national health care, didn't you know?
That aren't morally and socially fraught. Creating paper abortions for men will only end up reducing the freedom of women. It will leave them alone in their unwanted pregnancy with no means of seeking help from the other person responsible for conception.
Because you're a strong woman.
Women are so strong, yet they need the rest of society's help at every possible corner, at every possible angle. They need free stuff. They need it now. They need to have all the rights, while men need to have none of the rights. That is the only way for things to be truly fair in society.
I'm glad
Well,
you're finally coming around.
Well, the thing to remember is they are simultaneously the most powerful people in the world and also the most horribly oppressed at the same time.
They are strong and yet they are weak. This is the type of person who we're dealing with. Pardon me, but get out of America. Leave our country alone. Go. What's a good communist country these days? Go to Venezuela. Why don't you go live in Venezuela and leave America alone, because you're the problem. You are the reason that things are so shitty right now, because you voted for a dementia patient. You're the problem, and I hope that I don't know what I hope happens to you, because I'm pretty sure that the things that I hope happen to you are illegal to say on air,
All right.
or at least would subject me to several lawsuits.
And it wouldn't be much of a 200 sub spectacular if we didn't have a new game to play.
Oh, nice.
What is it called? Chop off my balls?
Maybe
It's
next
like-
Well,
week.
we'll do that
but-
next week. We'll do that next week.
Yeah.
At what age will Jack Gunsky die of an aneurysm?
All right.
And
But
on what Friday?
before I reveal the game, I just need each of you
Ooh.
to choose one of the items from the list on the screen.
I call cheeseburgers.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
Mine hasn't
Biatch.
uploaded yet. Hold on.
Minivan, so I can hit Moonshock and take his cheeseburgers.
Are we supposed to tell you, or are we supposed to just think of it ourselves? And
Now, you can tell me.
Too late.
all right, I'll
Cheeseburgers.
go bubble wrap.
All right.
I'll go duct tape.
Okay. And now we're going to play Wheel of Oppression.
Oh dear God.
Ooh.
Now,
Is there a bankrupt on here, or is it called morally bankrupt?
I'm going to go in order, and each of you has to explain why the item you picked corresponds to the whatever the wheel lands on. For example,
Why are cheeseburgers transphobic?
all right. So, who wants to go first?
Fuck it, I'll go first. Come on, man.
All right. What's your item, Moonshock?
Cheeseburgers.
All right. Well, you have to explain why cheeseburgers are
Oh, I thought it'd be good.
transphobic.
Shit. Well, let's see. Cheeseburgers are transphobic because, fuck. I was hoping it would have been something else, but cheeseburgers are transphobic because, you have so many cows that those male cows and those female cows, it's always the male cows. It's always the bulls that are chopped up, because the women, they always have to do the milking, all that kind of stuff. So cheeseburgers are transphobic because you always have the bulls that are slaughtered, and you never have the women cows. You never have the female cows, the Karen. We'll call those Karen cows. That when they try to be the bulls, they don't get slaughtered because they're too busy getting milked. So you have the men that are always wanting to be the cows, but they can't get milk because that's an awful different kind of milk altogether. But see, there's no way that cheeseburgers can be trans that there's no such thing as a trans cheeseburger. It's just not going to happen because each of those, the cow and the bull, they both have their own set of priorities, or a set of uses. So cow has to give the milk, and the bull has to be chopped up for cheeseburgers. So you can't have a trans bull being a trans cow and a trans cow being a trans bull. Just doesn't happen. It's like women that try to be men who think, oh my God, I'm a trans man now, so I need to have my testicles looked at. Oh wait, I don't have any. Or a trans woman who's like, oh look, I'm a woman now, but I need a pap smear for my what used to be my penis. See, that just doesn't happen. That's why cheeseburgers are transphobic.
Can we get a gong on this program?
I don't even know what happened there.
I'm pretty sure that Moonshock just had a miniature aneurysm.
All right.
I actually know of a brilliant way to make that connection. Am I allowed to share or no?
Well, I'll probably just give everybody a 1-minute timer.
Real quickly, let me grab a Streamlabs here. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. It's like my dad always said, if you're able to make the choice to have sex with a woman, you're able to watch her burn your house down if you don't answer correctly when she says she loves you. That's a really good point.
Okay, so I went overboard. I'm sorry. I will not talk anymore.
All right. And if we play in the future, after I got the polls thing fixed, I'll have the chat vote on whoever wins. All right, so who wants to go next?
I'll go.
All right, and what's your item?
Minivans. This should be fun.
All right, you have 1 minute to explain why minivans are anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic. Oh, geez. God, I have no fucking clue.
Time's a wasted.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You took like 5 minutes. Give me that shit. Well, obviously, minivans are anti-Semitic because they establish the impoverished family lifestyle, which is obviously antithetical to the Jewish notion of I don't know, being rich. Which is obviously anti-Semitic, so because poor people offend the Jews, so that's about it.
You mean this has nothing to do with the fact that that a minivan can be like a mobile gas chamber?
There you go.
See, it's funny because with the cheeseburgers, I was thinking if you really wanted to describe how it's transphobic, it's because the alternative option, the meatless burger, has like 50 million times more estrogen in it. So really, that is the only trans friendly option for you.
Yeah, we should have had the opposite ones.
Yeah, I know.
Next.
All right, who wants to go next?
I guess me. I'll go.
All right, what was your item?
Bubble wrap.
All right, you have to explain why bubble wrap is homophobic. Okay.
Well, because they make.
I'll switch it to a minute and a half so you guys have time to think.
Okay. Well, the thing is, they make a popping sound, and those gay guys, they're just popping. So, it's appropriating homosexual culture to make that popping sound because, they've got a fashion sense that just really pops, and yeah, it's appropriating, and you can't do that. So that's it. That's all that needs to be said.
Short and sweet.
Very succinct. All right, and Jack Cochran, what was your item?
Duct tape.
All right, you have to explain why duct tape is racist.
Well, obviously, duct tape is used by the cops to restrain black people illegally, and that makes it racist. Plus, it is used only on ducks, and who works on ducks? Whitey. And you'll notice that duct tape doesn't come in brown or black; it comes in gray. And you know what is gray? White people hair. And who wears gray? Not black people, because it doesn't look good on them. That's a whitey color. Clearly, duct tape is racist.
We need more duct tape with black people's skin color on it.
Have you seen a horror movie when they tie a black guy down? They use duct tape. And you know what? It doesn't match his skin. That's why he's crying. He's like, this doesn't go with me.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a black guy tied up in a horror movie? It looks terrible on them.
It does.
How many movies do you watch that involve tying down black people?
Yeah.
Not enough.
Have you ever been to Pornhub, Frosted?
I end up on the internet a lot.
All right. So, if the polls were working, I would have everybody vote on whoever the chat thinks won. But let's get a little.
Jack C won easily.
Yeah, mine's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah,
Don't vote for
Jack
me.
won. Both Moonshock and I got our signals crossed on that one.
Yes, clearly.
Come on. The minivan one was pretty easy, dude. I'm sorry.
What? I don't know.
Well, I mean, they got to move people, so obviously they're abduction mobiles.
What does that have to do with the Jews, though?
They're abducting the Jews
Oh.
with minivans.
They're
Oh.
modern day trains.
Damn it.
To take them to
Exactly, see?
camps.
Okay,
All right.
we
Damn
need
it,
to
that
play
was
this
good.
game again and have Jack
Yes.
do all five of it, all four of it.
All of them.
Yeah,
Jack
he's
plays
way
the
better
game,
at
he
this than
does
us.
I will take that challenge.
All right. And this was our first episode of Wheel of Oppression. And now,
Now,
I like
tell me
this
why. Tell me why phone books are colorist.
Phone books are colors? They come in yellow. That's so anti-Asian.
yeah,
They come in yellow and white.
Yeah, the only other pages are white pages, and those are government jobs. Obviously,
Oh.
white supremacy. It's discriminatory against black or brown bodies.
yeah.
That would be a good one.
Yeah,
Why are
where-
phone books racist?
Where
Because they're
are
white
the black
pages.
pages, bitch?
Yeah, scissors are homophobic against lesbians. And let's see, sneakers are
Misogynist.
racist because of joggers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are
yeah.
cupcakes?
Cupcakes are just brand muffins with a bit of extra flavor, so they're gunskiest.
Cupcakes are sexist because
if you
that's
eat
what
too
you
many
call. That's what a
cupcakes-
sexist man calls a woman.
Yeah,
hey,
if you
look
eat
at this cupcake.
If you eat too many cupcakes, you'll get diabetes. And who's the group that gets diabetes the most? Black people. Obviously oppressive.
Cupcakes are racist.
All right. And now on to the last article of the night. Caring about Asian women means caring about sex worker rights.
Oh, you
Woohoo!
picked this one. You handpicked this one for Mr. Cochran.
Yeah, I saved this one for
But
Jack.
also, it's one of the ones that was in Poe and O.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, by Alexandra Tsuneta.
If you don't care about Asian women and sex labor jobs, then you don't care, period.
I will agree. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
On the eve of the murder of 6 Asian women, I am asking you to understand that while mainstream media and the American government are not taking responsibility for their continuous xenophobia
Oh my God.
and anti-Asian fear-mongering, we must understand that xenophobia and anti-Asian hate are as American as the bald eagle. America is the country with the Chinese Exclusion Act, Japanese internment camps. We bombed Tokyo, Hiroshima, Laos, Cambodia, and North Korea.
Excuse me. They bombed us first, fuckers. So shut the hell up.
Yeah, it's kind of a war. Bombing the
Yeah.
enemy is kind of what you do.
Yeah.
Mm.
America has slaughtered innocent people in Vietnam, supported the Indonesian massacre, and has continuously called COVID-19 the Chinese virus,
Because
came-
it is the Chinese virus.
Where did it come from again? Just refresh my memory.
Nobody knows.
Wuhan.
I love the lines that people took to distance Corona from China. They're like, yes, well, there was a variant inside Europe. Yes, and where did the variant come from?
Yeah.
It all traces back to one place.
Let's
I
not
just
get
like the idea of the Wu flu, like because it makes me think of
Yeah.
Brianna Wu.
Oh,
And then-
this next sentence is golden.
let's not get it twisted. America has been continuously anti-Asian since the dawn of its existence.
Yes, because the white men that set up this country specifically set it up with anti-Asian mindsets from the get-go, because we hate Asian people so much we didn't even know who the fuck they were. But you know what? We're gonna make this country specifically anti-Asian just because.
And also, what didn't America get discovered because they were looking for Asia?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, trade routes to India, and India's in Asia.
America is a country formed by colonization, violence, and racism. We cannot continue to allow people to deny these facts. We cannot continue to be bystanders to this reality.
Do you want to know why slaves were brought here in the first place? Because their own people sold them to us. We already had people that were already quote unquote slaves. Those were called indentured servants, which were treated much, much worse than the actual slaves were. So you can shut the hell up.
No, that never happened.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Sorry. What was I thinking?
Moving
Hate
forward,
facts.
Moving forward, the consistent marginalization and fetishization of Asian women are much to blame for the violence and murder that happened 2 days ago in Atlanta.
Pause. Mr. Cochran, your
Yeah,
opinions
Oh,
on
I
this?
was just
sounds like
thinking
this is all
about Asian
Jack's
women.
fault.
Clearly.
Yeah, so that whole thing in Atlanta, that was your fault, Jack.
Well, it is what it is. I got nothing.
In
Still
fact-
thinking about Asian women.
In fact, the murderer, whose name I will not continue to repeat, blamed his ruthless rampage on his sex addiction, despite his posts on social media continuously stating his known xenophobia. The murderer said he wanted to eliminate things that tempt him sexually. He was on his way to Florida to continue to murder Asian women before he was apprehended.
No, it
See,
wasn't.
it's the women's fault for being too sexy.
Yeah.
That's right. No, it's Asian
Fact.
women's fault for being too sexy.
Yeah.
This is the reality of the ruthless murders in Atlanta. A known white supremacist slaughtered 8 people, 6 of them Asian women. He
Yeah, and the other 2 were white, motherfucker.
No
Well,
one
that-
cares about those.
Yeah, that's
Of course
irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
He targeted Asian spas and sex workers. There was nothing random about his attacks. They were
So,
planned.
random American, you're in the clear. We've confirmed you didn't do this one.
Well, for now.
For now.
They were planned. He was radicalized in a country that was continuously touted anti-Asian rhetoric. We must not question why he did this. We know why. But we must look deeply at what continues to perpetuate anti-Asian hate, primarily against Asian women.
No. He specifically said this was not a hate crime against race.
Well,
This
yeah,
was because
but-
of. Yeah.
But what does
Go
he
ahead,
know?
Yeah, but that's how these things work. Every single modern societal issue has to be pigeonholed in such a way, has to be shoehorned in, no matter how much it mangles the subject matter into some sort of postmodern lens. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. The question is how can we morph and distort it so that it fits our this one very narrow worldview.
I like Asian holes. You were talking about pigeonholes and kind of lost me there. I tuned out. I was thinking about Asians. So I missed about half of what you said.
Damn it,
You
you're
like
going to
donut
cause
holes,
another
too?
shooting, Jack.
Well, throw and rope, maybe. Sexy Asians.
Looking simply at entertainment, we are presented with examples that over-sexualized Asian women and some that reduce them specifically to their sexuality and genitalia.
But their genitalia is so pretty,
Yeah, I was gonna say that isn't that again called Pornhub?
right?
No one likes Asian women in porn. That's just
Of course,
yeah.
no.
For example, in the film Full Metal Jacket, Papillon Susu plays a Vietnamese sex worker, I assume they meant,
No,
Who
it's clearly plays a Vietnamese sex work.
who approaches two men and in broken English says the phrase, "Me love you long time," which has been ultra-popularized ever since the 1987 war film.
Yeah, because
That
it's
just-
funny.
That just means that she's affectionate. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, and she likes white guys. So what?
She'll love you long time.
Yeah. I mean,
How matter of factly.
it's not like she said, "Me love you wrong time."
Yeah,
Rub you wrong time.
The point of the joke was that she doesn't speak very good English. It's like a second language for her. It's not an insult to her because she's Asian. It's funny because it's broken English.
It would
Oh
be
my
the
God.
same if an Italian said it.
Oh my god, I'm reading ahead in this article, and the next sentence already is going to piss me off. So I gotta stop. No reading ahead.
We continue to see examples of the over-sexualization and fetishization of Asian women in entertainment, from Austin Powers in the famous Fook Me scene where he crosses out "have a threesome with the Asian twins" from his to-do list, or when Amy Schumer joked that Asian women have the smallest vaginas in the game. Yes, because Amy Schumer just represents our culture.
Yeah, it's the one whose pussy supposedly smells like a barnyard animal.
You know,
Well,
the sad thing is these days she probably does.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, Asians do a very. I mean,
He speaks from experience, folks. That's why he's saying it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
where am I?
these days you have to have experience in it so that you can actually say yes, that is true. So absolutely, and you wouldn't talk if you didn't have experience. So there you go.
Oh, where am I? He's using the Joe Biden defense.
Exactly.
That's right. I'm president.
Listen, fat.
Listen, fat.
Listen,
It's
Chow
like fucking-
Young Fat.
He's like Randy
No.
Quaid. He's like, I can fly. I'm pilot.
These jokes and portrayals of Asian women in modern entertainment are just a few examples of the over-sexualization of Asian women in film and other forms of media. Jenny Yang...
Again, because Asian women are sexy. There you go. That's all this. That's all this whole article just needs to say. Asian women are sexy. Done. End of article. 5-second read. Done.
No,
Yeah,
you're wrong. It should say Asian women are sexy. Then it should prove their point by putting lots and lots of pictures and videos of Asian women being sexy.
There you go.
I like where your head's at, Terry. I can get behind this.
Because you can't just have the statement. You need to back it up with evidence.
That's
That's
true.
true.
And you
And
need
yeah,
footnotes
I-
of those videos.
And you can get behind that. I see what you did there, Jai.
Jenny Yang said on Twitter, because we all know who Jenny Yang is,
Rando.
Asian women are your punchlines. Sex workers are your punchlines. And this could not be more true. The longer that we continue to allow the over-sexualization of Asian women, and we continue not to speak out against these portrayals of Asian women, the more these kinds of acts of violence will not be quelled.
I don't exactly see Asian women being assaulted mostly by American men or like white men. I see it mostly being done by their own people in their own countries, the sex traffickers and whatnot. I highly doubt that those are all owned by white guys. So I'm having some difficulty believing this.
No, you've got to remember the Cochran factor. He makes up at least 50%.
Like Cochran.
True.
Factor. Would you happen to be related to Zephram Cochran?
Not that I know of. but I don't really pay much attention if I'm surrounded by Asians. Outer space can wait, ladies.
It's like, you want to see my rocket?
Want to go for a ride on my rocket?
I can take you on a warp flight, baby.
That's right.
Being inclusive of all Asian women, we must also recognize that many Asian women are forced into sexual labor jobs as a mean to feed their families and take care of themselves. Sex work is real work. Don't get it twisted. If you don't,
Except when Asians do it.
Appropriate choice of words. Don't get it twisted.
no, that's just advice. If you go to a sex worker, don't get it twisted.
Exactly.
Yeah, they get a little rough.
Hey, if they want to do balloon animals, that's their thing.
Not out of my wiener, no.
Wow,
I can make a giraffe.
Wow, you made Pablo Picasso's Guernica. All right. After all, those stereotypes also feed into perceptions of Asian women as cheap and disposable workers. That's made them economically vulnerable too. Rachel Kuo for CNN. Because we all knew who that is too.
It's like, no fucking clue.
We cannot continue to sit by and let anti-Asian rhetoric slide by without saying anything. Stop
That's why
laughing.
we're doing this stream. We're talking about it right now.
Stop laughing at the Asian jokes. Call this kind of violence by its true name. This is xenophobia. This is anti-Asian hate, and we cannot sit idly by while hate crimes against Asian people have risen by over 150% since 2019.
It's really a shit.
What I think would be great is if all the Asian stand-up comedians, like people are just sitting silently in the audience, we're not allowed to laugh at your jokes.
It's really a shame that this is a radio show because it doesn't feel the same if I do the jerking off motion without a camera actually seeing it. It doesn't have the same impact.
I know we're talking about Asian women, but please try to control yourself.
Right? It's
Wrong
difficult.
Jack you're talking to there, Terry.
You can jerk off on camera on your channel.
on my OnlyFans.
No, I think she's overlooking something, and that is that Asians are hot, and she's just jealous, and she's probably fat.
Yeah, that's probably an Ugo. Definitely an Ugo.
Yeah. Like, when she talks, I just hear "mo" with cheeseburger sauce coming out of her mouth. Some secret sauce like Big Mac and
Some transphobic cheeseburgers.
yeah. She's this sounds like somebody that's jealous. It comes off as petty, lazy, and jealous.
Yeah.
America has consistently fetishized, sexualized, and marginalized Asian women for decades. Now, white supremacists are using that fetishization and marginalization to murder innocent Asian people throughout America.
Prove it. I see no proof. I just see just bullshit theories and conjecture.
That's
Also,
basically
did you see what she was wearing?
That's their entire sorry.
Of course, we cannot look past the major xenophobia by disgraced former President Donald Trump and his administration, as well
Disgraced? How was he disgraced?
Because he was impeached twice by a partisan activist Congress.
Yeah.
as well as
I'm sorry, but I see no disgrace in anything that he did.
I think that Joe Biden has so far been a disgrace.
Oh,
I've never. Well, no, wait, it's not entirely true. He makes me ashamed. He makes me feel ashamed for my country whenever he. I mean, like when Joe Biden, when Barack Obama went on the apology tour, that was one thing. This is like on a whole other level because now we have to witness as other countries laugh at us to our face.
Yep.
We have to witness as freaking Vladimir Putin laughs in our face, and I can't even be mad at him because he's right.
Yes,
He's
he
right that Joe Biden is a joke and his entire administration is
He's
utterly toothless.
Yeah, he's a laughing stock.
Ugh.
Let's see. As well as the rise of hate crimes against Asian people since the spread of COVID-19. But we must also consider the implications of over-sexualization and sexualizing an entire race of women for centuries.
Yeah, you hear that, Jack Cochran? Stop it.
Well, first of all, if you're looking at Asians and like, man, they're sexy, I want to hurt them, then you got issues. That's not how this works. Like, if you're sexualizing them, you cherish them. You're like, oh, look how hot she is. You don't be like, oh, I'm gonna go beat the shit out of some sexy people today. Nobody says that. Nobody.
One guy did.
I'm gonna beat you because you're so pretty.
Yeah, crazy people do that, not normal people. This is weird, and this person is stupid.
Her face would look so hot against my knuckles.
Right?
Or bashed
Weirdly
against a concrete
attractive.
wall. It's like, she asked for that cinder block.
How to be an advocate here and now. You may be wondering how you can help Asian communities in this desperate time of need while hate crimes continue to rise.
By having sex with them.
Exactly.
Below are many links and organizations that could use your support. Please continue.
I don't see a Pornhub link there.
Well, click on the links. Maybe one of them is to Pornhub. We don't know yet.
Please continue to support Asian communities, continue to speak up, and please continue to share resources so that we can stop anti-Asian hate and xenophobia. Don't be a bystander. Speak up, show up, and loudly be seen in support of Asian communities and Asian women in sex labor jobs.
Nah.
I'm just speculating here, but xenophobia, that's fear of Sinatra?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say it's xenophobia, not cyno.
Yeah, like if you're just scared of either Frank Sinatra or Sinatra Says the YouTube channel, either one works. If you're scared of them, you've got xenophobia.
Mm-hmm.
Cut that
Well,
shit out.
I think this person is advocating for me to go to sex workers, which is what caused this guy to have a problem to begin with, isn't it?
I think you should do the right thing and patronize as many Asian sex workers as he can afford. It is your way of giving back to the community.
That's true. I will redistribute the charges to other people's credit cards.
That makes it even better.
And and I will be sure to introduce myself. My name is Matt. I collect rocks, and please take your pants off.
You want to see the true when I hear diversity is strength in that kind of a view, a diversity is strength. There's many diverse, different kinds of Asian women.
It's true. There's lots
See?
of them. There's some sexy Southeast Asians. You got your beautiful Indonesians. You got your saucy Thai. Yeah, you have your lovely Vietnamese. The beautiful Japanese with the tight
That's right.
vaginas.
See?
Your
Diversity.
Thai lady boys.
Your Thai lady boy.
Yeah, you gotta check the gear when you're in Southeast Asia. You gotta be like, all right, I'm gonna need to inspect the goods, and then if you see a penis, that's a no.
Yeah, but before you buy the car, you gotta look under the hood.
Yeah,
That's it.
always inspect them, see if the motor's running properly. Sometimes you get a surprise. If you're into that, cool, but I'm not. So
You're so transphobic, Jack.
I'm just not a big fan of other people's wieners.
So what you're saying is that you're one of those, what do they call them, super heteros or
straight.
whatever? Yeah, super
No,
gays, yeah.
But what if it's a female penis? Then it's different, right?
Nope, kind of the same ballpark. Gonna have to decline that one.
Hey, but before you have a roast, you got to check for a weenie.
That's true.
He just wants s'mores.
And with that, we'll wrap up the 200 sub spectacular of the corner.
Yay!
Yay!
So I'll just
We
chill
lost
out.
the caption game.
Hmm?
We lost the caption game. That we swapped it out, or is that just for this one?
Well, I don't know. I'm still thinking it
Terry
over.
is disappointed in you for not having the caption game.
Yes, he wanted the caption game.
Well, that's where we make fun of Jack Gunsky. That's the highlight of the stream.
He's not allowed to vote.
Yeah.
All right, but I'll just shill out my co-hosts. Jack Gunsky has Quippers United on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. Moonshock has his Twitch channel where he plays games that are not as good as Super Seducer 3.
And I just hit 100 followers yesterday.
Well, everyone should unsubscribe from him until he plays the right game.
That's right. Or at least
I'll
until he
nice.
rides his Brontosaurus into the lava.
No, I'll even be nice. You can play any of the 3 Super Seducer games. It doesn't even have to be the third one. I'm opening the parameters just to be nice.
Let's see. Terry is on Johnny Hellcat's channel. He's on Quippers United. He's on Delahazed Minions of the Zoo Nights. He's on Next 6 Minutes Sober Streams. And
Don't you dare say son, you fucker.
And he can be found regularly in Moonshock's bedroom.
Yeah, that's everything except for the stuff that you're about to shill for yourself. So,
all right, and anything you want to shill, Jack Cochran?
Yeah, I just did a stream earlier. I'll drop a link to that. But thanks for having me on, guys. It's always fun.
Yeah, no problem.
You're always welcome.
Yeah, you've been there for us since the beginning, so
that's right.
It's always fun.
And if you just happen to show up in the middle of a stream, we're gonna give you a free ticket.
Well, maybe not free, but discounted.
No, I always like having a good Jack on the stream. He's a good guest.
A good Jack on.
You can never go wrong with a good. You can't go wrong with a good Jack.
we have to make do with adequate Jack most of the time. So it's good to have the proper one.
No, they're both good Jacks.
We have aneurysm Jack, and then we have bad comic review Jack.
And I actually came up with proof that the Hate Camel and Jack Cochran are the same person, because if you watch their torture streams on Johnny Hellcat's channel, the Hate Camel does what can only be described as bad comic reviews.
Uh-oh.
You've been discovered.
All right. So, we'll see you guys. Thanks for coming to the 200 sub spectacular, and we'll see you guys next week.
Oh God, I gotta vomit.
Be alabaster. Be great.
See you later, guys.